You may have noticed that when I report about what happened at the U.S. Capitol on January 6, 2021, I refer to it as a protest, while almost the entire national news media calls it an insurrection, and so of course does the hyper-partisan Democrat committee that is supposedly investigating what happened on January 6th in the U.S. House. Well, is it really a protest or was it an insurrection? And the first thing we have to look at is, what is the definition of an insurrection? The word appears in the U.S. Constitution in Article 1, Section 8. It also appears in the 14th Amendment to the Constitution, which is, of course, one of the post-Civil War amendments to the Constitution. And what an insurrection is it really has two elements. First of all, there has to be an actual protest and physical act. But second of all, there has to be an intent in the mind of the person doing the actions to overthrow the government that they're protesting against. So I would really put three categories of people who were involved in what happened on January 6, 2021. First of all, there were peaceful protesters. In fact, I knew some people who went to the U.S. Capitol that day. They had no intent whatsoever to overthrow the U.S. government. They were just protesting what they felt like was an unfair election result. But there's a second group of people, and they really complicate the situation. And I would call those people armchair insurrectionists. People who kind of were afraid to do any action, but they sure wanted a military commission to take over the U.S. government and basically put President Trump back in office. Now, if they had actually acted on that, that would have been an insurrection, and it certainly is anti-American and anti-U.S. Constitution. And then there was the third group of people. The people who were involved in the violence at the U.S. Capitol. And not even all of those people I would call insurrectionists. There was that guy who looked at Nancy Pelosi's laptop in her office. Well, he was acting stupidly, but he wasn't trying to overthrow the government of the United States. He was just being a jerk. Then there was the shaman who went into the U.S. House of Representatives with his fancy little outfit and his buffalo headdress. And that guy, he probably came the closest to actually being an insurrectionist. So was it an insurrection? No, probably not. As far as Donald Trump, it was a protest. And that's the way that you should look at what happened on January 6th.